Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something that we sometimes forget to nurture, yet it's the very heart of our happiness and fulfillment, being true to ourselves. This phrase may seem simple, even obvious, but in a world full of expectations, pressures, and opinions about who we should be, staying true to yourself can be a lifelong journey. Owning your choices is one of the most empowering steps you can take on the path to authenticity. This means standing by the decisions you make, understanding the reasons behind them, and accepting the consequences they bring, both good and bad. It's about taking full responsibility for your actions and letting go of the temptation to shift blame onto circumstances, people, or the countless external factors that can influence us. Owning your choices doesn't mean that every choice will be perfect or that you'll always get it right. Instead, it means acknowledging that you are the one in control, that you have the agency to shape your life and direct your path, no matter what challenges you may face. To truly own your choices, you have to know yourself. This requires an ongoing process of self-reflection, tuning into what resonates deeply within you rather than acting on the expectations and pressures imposed by others. It's easy to get swept up by societal norms, family expectations, or the influence of friends and peers, all of which can shape our decisions in ways we don't even realize. But to live a life that feels true, you must start by listening to your own inner voice. This voice often whispers what truly brings you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose, and learning to trust it is the first step toward making choices that reflect who you are rather than who others think you should be. Of course, taking full ownership of your choices requires courage. When you decide to stand by your choices, you are bound to face moments of discomfort and challenge, especially when those choices diverge from what others might prefer or expect. It's natural to fear disapproval, judgment, or even failure. But courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means acting despite the fear. It's about finding the strength to stand up for what you believe in and trusting that your truth is worth pursuing. This courage helps you grow, not only in confidence, but also in resilience. With each choice you make and stand by, you strengthen your ability to navigate life on your own terms, which is essential for long-lasting happiness and fulfillment. There will undoubtedly be times when the choices you make lead to unexpected outcomes or even outright mistakes. But owning your choices means acknowledging when things don't go as planned and using these experiences as opportunities to learn and grow. Mistakes don't define us, rather, how we respond to them does. When you own your choices, you learn to see mistakes as valuable lessons that add to your understanding of yourself and your path forward. This mindset allows you to approach life with a sense of humility and grace, knowing that each decision is a step on the journey of becoming the person you are meant to be. It's also essential to recognize that owning your choices doesn't require you to go through the journey alone. While you hold the responsibility for your decisions, seeking advice, feedback, or support from trusted individuals is part of a healthy decision-making process. Talking to people who respect your individuality and want the best for you can provide valuable insights that align with your goals. However, it's vital to remember that while guidance is helpful, the final decision lies with you. Your life is yours to lead, and only you can determine the direction that feels true to your heart. Owning your choices also cultivates a deep sense of empowerment. It frees you from feeling like a victim of circumstances as you come to understand that, regardless of the situation, you always have the power to decide how you will respond. This doesn't mean that every choice will be easy or that life will be without hardship, but it means that you approach challenges with a sense of purpose and resolve. The realization that your decisions are the building blocks of your life allows you to move forward with intention, creating a life that reflects your values, beliefs, and dreams. Embracing imperfection is a fundamental part of living authentically and staying true to yourself. It involves recognizing that no one has everything figured out and that striving for perfection can often hinder more than it helps. Perfection is an illusion, a moving target that keeps shifting the closer you think you are to reaching it. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you create room for growth, learning, and self-compassion. Instead of striving to meet unrealistic standards, embracing imperfection allows you to be kinder to yourself, to acknowledge your strengths and weaknesses without judgment, and to celebrate the journey over the destination. Allowing yourself to be imperfect is an invitation to be vulnerable, which can be challenging because vulnerability means putting your authentic self out there without the shields we often build to protect ourselves. Vulnerability can feel risky, even uncomfortable, because it involves showing parts of ourselves we're sometimes afraid others will judge. But it's in these moments of vulnerability that we can experience the most genuine connections with others and with ourselves. When you allow yourself to be imperfect, you're saying, "This is who I am, with all my flaws and strengths, and that's enough." Vulnerability lets you be seen for who you really are, not for the polished image you might project. In embracing vulnerability, you foster deeper, more authentic relationships and a stronger sense of self-acceptance. Another powerful aspect of embracing imperfection is the freedom it brings. When you stop chasing the illusion of perfection, you liberate yourself from constant self-criticism and comparison to others. You recognize that everyone is on their own journey and that you don't need to measure up to anyone else's standards. This freedom allows you to explore, take risks, and even fail without feeling like each misstep defines your worth. Embracing imperfection opens the door to creativity and spontaneity, as you no longer fear making mistakes or falling short of unrealistic ideals. It gives you permission to try new things, to experiment, and to approach life with a sense of curiosity and playfulness. This perspective creates a more relaxed and fulfilling experience, where you can enjoy the process rather than feeling trapped in constant self-assessment. Self-acceptance is a key part of embracing imperfection. Accepting yourself doesn't mean settling or ignoring areas where you can grow. Rather, it means honoring who you are in this moment, knowing that you are enough as you are right now. Self-acceptance is about respecting your own humanity, acknowledging that you, like everyone else, have moments of triumph and times of struggle. By embracing your imperfections, you open the door to understanding that being human is a balance of both light and shadow, strength and vulnerability. Accepting yourself as you are allows you to move forward with greater confidence and a deeper sense of peace, knowing that your worth isn't tied to being flawless, but rather to being genuinely yourself. Finally, embracing imperfection fosters resilience. When you accept that setbacks, mistakes, and challenges are a natural part of life, you're better equipped to handle them. Resilience comes from understanding that your value isn't diminished by setbacks, and that each experience, no matter how difficult, contributes to your growth. By embracing imperfections, you learn to approach life with a flexible mindset, knowing that obstacles don't define you, but rather provide opportunities to learn, grow. This resilience helps you weather storms and adapt to changes without losing your sense of self or your belief in your own worth. Embracing imperfection gives you the strength to keep moving forward, knowing that each step, each stumble, and each success is a valuable part of your journey. Silencing outside opinions is one of the most liberating steps toward living an authentic life. We are constantly surrounded by voices of family, friends, colleagues, social media, and society at large, each with their own opinions on how we should live, what choices we should make, and who we should become. While feedback and advice can sometimes be valuable, allowing others' voices to drown out your own inner truth can steer you away from the path that feels right for you. Silencing outside opinions doesn't mean disregarding others or being stubborn. It means learning to separate constructive guidance from noise and, most importantly, learning to trust your own intuition and sense of self. Silencing outside opinions starts with knowing who you are and what you value. Without a clear understanding of your core beliefs and desires, it becomes easy to get swayed by others' perspectives. This requires taking the time to reflect deeply on what matters most to you. It's about tuning into your own needs, dreams, and motivations, rather than following the path that others might deem right or successful. When you have a strong foundation of self-awareness, the opinions of others don't shake you as much. You have a clearer vision of your direction, making it easier to ignore the noise and stay true to your chosen path. One of the biggest obstacles to silencing outside opinions is the fear of judgment or rejection. We are social beings, and it's natural to want acceptance and approval. However, constantly seeking validation from others can lead you away from your own truth and create a cycle of self-doubt. Overcoming this fear requires the courage to stand by your choices even if others don't understand or approve. While judgment and criticism may come, it's essential to remember that you cannot please everyone and your life is ultimately your own to live. When you prioritize your own values over others' opinions, you free yourself from the constraints of seeking validation and give yourself permission to be authentically you. Learning to listen to your intuition is also a powerful part of silencing outside opinions. Intuition is that inner voice, that gut feeling that often knows what's best for you, even when it defies logic or conventional wisdom. However, intuition can be hard to hear when the voices around you are loud. Cultivating trust in your intuition takes practice, but the more you tune into it, the more you learn to trust yourself. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time alone, finding practices that help you connect with your inner voice will strengthen your ability to rely on it when faced with decisions. Your intuition is uniquely yours, a guide that no one else has access to, and trusting it allows you to navigate life with confidence. Silencing outside opinions ultimately empowers you to live life on your terms. It allows you to make decisions from a place of authenticity rather than obligation, pressure, or fear. This self-directed approach helps you grow into the person you're meant to be rather than a version molded by others. While it can be challenging to ignore the noise, especially in a world that's quick to offer opinions, staying connected to your truth enables you to create a life that genuinely reflects who you are. Celebrating uniqueness means embracing the qualities that make you different from others and recognizing the value that only you can bring to the world. In a society that often promotes conformity, there is immense power in acknowledging and owning what makes you unique. Each person is born with a distinct set of skills, talents, perspectives, and experiences, and these differences are what create the richness and diversity of the human experience. Celebrating your uniqueness isn't about standing out for the sake of attention. It's about appreciating the individuality that allows you to contribute something meaningful to the world around you. When you celebrate your uniqueness, you shift away from comparison. It's easy to look at others and wish for the qualities or successes they have, but this often leads to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. By focusing on what makes you unique, you learn to see your own worth without needing to measure up to anyone else's standards. You understand that your journey is uniquely yours, shaped by your own experiences, challenges, and achievements. Instead of striving to be like someone else, you start to honor your own path, recognizing that no one else can live your life or bring the exact perspective that you can. This shift from comparison to self-appreciation creates a stronger foundation of self-worth, helping you feel more confident and fulfilled in being exactly who you are. Embracing your uniqueness also allows you to make more authentic choices. When you're connected to what makes you different, you're more likely to pursue goals, relationships, and activities that align with your true self rather than what others might expect of you. This authenticity can lead to a greater sense of satisfaction and happiness because you're living in alignment with who you are. You're not trying to fit into a mold or live up to someone else's ideals. Instead, you're embracing what genuinely excites and fulfills you. This self-aligned approach to life not only enhances your personal well-being, but also sets an example for others, inspiring them to be true to themselves as well. Celebrating your uniqueness also means recognizing the contributions you can make that no one else can. Your unique qualities, experiences, and insights give you the ability to approach situations in ways that others might not. Whether it's a creative solution to a problem, a fresh perspective in a discussion, or a special talent, these individual traits are what enable you to make an impact. By embracing and valuing your unique contributions, you build a sense of purpose, knowing that your presence brings something important to the world. This sense of purpose can be incredibly motivating, encouraging you to keep pursuing your passions and using your strengths in ways that benefit both yourself and others. Another aspect of celebrating uniqueness is fostering self-acceptance. Part of embracing what makes you different is recognizing that some aspects of yourself may not align with what society typically values or expects. There may be times when you feel pressured to downplay certain traits or adapt to fit in more easily. However, true self-acceptance involves honoring even those parts of yourself that feel unconventional or misunderstood. It means recognizing that your quirks, strengths, and even perceived weaknesses all contribute to the person you are. This self-acceptance allows you to feel comfortable in your own skin, giving you the freedom to be unapologetically yourself without worrying about fitting into someone else's definition of normal or acceptable. Celebrating your uniqueness allows you to build authentic connections with others. When you are true to yourself and openly embrace what makes you different, you attract people who genuinely appreciate and value for who you are. These authentic connections are based on mutual respect and understanding rather than superficial similarities. By bringing your full, unique self into your relationships, you create deeper, more meaningful connections with those who resonate with your individuality. This authenticity also encourages others to embrace their own uniqueness, fostering an environment where people feel free to be themselves without fear of judgment or rejection. Being brave and bold and embracing your true self is one of the most profound acts of courage you can take in life. In a world where we are constantly influenced by expectations, judgments, and opinions from every direction, having the strength to live according to your own values, dreams, and desires requires not just courage, but also conviction. Being brave and bold doesn't mean you are without fear or doubts. Instead, it means recognizing those fears and choosing to act anyway, driven by a deep commitment to honoring who you are at your core. This courage allows you to face the challenges, the criticisms, and the discomforts that inevitably arise when you go against the grain, staying true to yourself in a world that often encourages conformity. The first step in being brave and bold is understanding what truly matters to you. Knowing your values, goals, and desires is essential because these become your guiding principles, the compass that helps you navigate life's decisions. Without this clarity, it becomes easy to be swayed by others' opinions, and your actions may end up reflecting someone else's vision rather than your own. By taking the time to deeply explore what fulfills you, what you care about, and what kind of life you want to lead, you create a strong foundation for your bravery. When you know what you stand for, it becomes easier to stand firm even in the face of adversity. This inner clarity fuels your courage, making it possible to step forward with purpose and confidence. Being bold also means stepping out of your comfort zone. Growth rarely happens when we remain in the safe, familiar spaces of life. It's in moments of risk, of trying new things, and of challenging yourself that you experience true expansion. Boldness means being willing to try, to fail, and to learn. It's about understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a valuable teacher. Each time you push beyond what's comfortable, you're not only testing your limits, but also redefining what you're capable of. Taking risks can feel daunting, especially if you're used to being cautious or fear the unknown. However, these risks are often what lead to the most meaningful and rewarding experiences, creating a life that is rich with growth, discovery, and fulfillment. By taking steps outside your comfort zone, you give yourself the chance to live fully rather than staying confined by fear or hesitation. In being brave and bold, you will inevitably encounter criticism. People may question your choices, misunderstand your intentions, or judge you for being different. In these moments, staying true to yourself requires resilience and self-assurance. The opinions of others can be difficult to bear, especially if they come from those you care about. However, being brave means learning to accept that not everyone will understand or agree with your path, and that's okay. You do not need others' validation to pursue what feels right for you. Criticism is often a reflection of others' perspectives and limitations rather than a true assessment of your choices. When you can detach from the need for approval, you free yourself to make decisions based on your own sense of what's right, rather than seeking permission or acceptance from the world around you. A significant part of being bold is also learning to use your voice. Expressing your thoughts, ideas, and feelings authentically requires courage because it makes you vulnerable. You might worry about how others will react or fear being dismissed or rejected. But speaking your truth is an essential part of living authentically. It means sharing who you are openly and unapologetically. By using your voice, you establish your presence in the world, allowing others to see the real you rather than a version shaped by fear or social pressures. Being vocal about what you believe in also has a ripple effect. It encourages others to be true to themselves, inspiring them to share their own stories and perspectives. When you use your voice, you contribute to a world that celebrates diversity of thought and individuality, fostering a culture of authenticity. Being brave and bold also means staying committed to your path, even when it's difficult. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. When you choose to pursue your unique path, you are likely to face obstacles that might make you question yourself. In these moments, resilience becomes key. Being resilient doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is fine. It means recognizing challenges and persevering despite them. Resilience is built through each experience of adversity, each time you choose to continue forward rather than giving up. It's in these moments of persistence that you learn just how strong and capable you are. Every time you overcome a setback, you build more confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, reinforcing your commitment to living boldly and authentically. Being bold requires embracing your imperfections. None of us are without flaws or vulnerabilities, and accepting these parts of yourself is essential for living bravely. When you try to appear perfect, you place an unnecessary burden on yourself, often hiding parts of who you are out of fear of judgment. However, true courage lies in acknowledging that you are human, that you will make mistakes, and that your imperfections are part of what make you unique. Embracing these imperfections frees you from the pressure of always having to present a polished image, allowing you to be fully present and engaged in your life without the constraints of perfectionism. It also invites others to connect with you on a deeper level, as people are often drawn to authenticity rather than perfection. Living bravely and boldly is ultimately about creating a life that reflects who you truly are. When you make choices aligned with your values and desires, you give yourself the chance to experience a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. This doesn't mean that the journey will be without challenges, but each step you take will be rooted in a deep sense of purpose. Living authentically brings a sense of inner peace and satisfaction, knowing that you are living on your terms, not someone else's. Your actions and decisions reflect your true self, which is one of the most liberating and rewarding feelings in the world. Embracing bravery and boldness is an ongoing journey, one that requires constant reflection, growth, and recommitment. You won't always get it right, and there will be times when you feel uncertain or afraid. But each time you choose to act with courage, you strengthen your ability to face life authentically. Over time, being brave and bold becomes second nature, a part of who you are, guiding you toward a life that feels vibrant, honest, and true to your core. In the end, living with courage allows you to become the fullest expression of yourself, creating a legacy of authenticity and inspiring others to do the same.